All right, hello everyone. It is Tuesday, November 16th, 2021. My name is Drew Suka, and on behalf of VMUG, I'd like to welcome you to today's Tenzig Webcast. Set up, manage, and optimize Microsoft Teams in a VMware Horizon environment like a pro. Presented by Jason Hudson, Technical Solutions Architect at Tenzig. I don't know where he is on everyone else's screen, but he's right here for me. Jason Hudson, check him out. Before we begin, I have 3 quick housekeeping items to go over. First, today's webcast will be recorded and available for you on demand. You will receive an email with the on-demand link, so keep an eye out for that. Second, a Q&A session will follow today's presentation if we still have time. All questions will need to be entered into the question and answer section on the side. And please feel free to ask questions throughout the presentation because we love to answer questions throughout. I know I'm getting my first question in. It's from Daniel saying hello from Denver. I love to know where everyone's from. So why doesn't everyone shout out where they're from in the question and answer section, just to see how international we are, how widespread this webcast is. Third, there'll be a short online evaluation that pops up as you exit the webcast. Please take a minute and let us know what you thought of today's session and what you might like to see going forward. Here's the big one. All attendees from today's webcast who opted in their information at registration will be entered into a raffle to win a $200 Amazon gift card. The winner will be contacted directly by Tenzig, so good luck. All right, let's get started. And we're getting a lot of people sending in where they're from. I wasn't expecting that many people, so thanks everyone. Let's begin. Let's get started. We're all here to listen to Jason. So Jason, I'll turn it over to you now.
Thanks, Drew. Thanks for the introduction and the housekeeping. Hi, everybody. I'm Jason Hudson from Tenzig Technology and have over 30 years experience in the IT industry. I joined the company back in March 2021 after having a close 10-year working relationship with Tenzig as a retail infrastructure architect at Iceland Foods in the UK. I'm a technical solutions architect, and my role focuses on creation and improvement of Tenzig technical content, such as videos, blogs, webinars, and tech support guides. I'm here to present a specially pre-recorded demonstration on how to install, configure, and optimize Microsoft Teams through the VMware Horizon environment. The demo's in 2 parts. The first focuses on installation and setup, and the second part of the demo will show optimized and non-optimized Teams calls and explain what's happening during both calls inside the VDI and on the Tenzig Linux-based NOS 6048QV. Just to let you know, we have the first of 3 poll questions to start with. Okay, so the first question is, are you using Tenzig Thin or Zero clients already? So answer yes, no, or if you're planning to do in the future, then just let us know.
Yep, I just wanted to, oh, sorry, go on, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to hold on to this poll question for about a minute. There is a bit of a delay between what we see and what they see, so we're getting answers in right now. So everyone, keep sending it in. Oh yeah. Oh, I like to see this participation, everybody. This is great. Anyway, go on, Jason. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Are we going to hold on till we get the results before we continue with the rest of the presentation?
Do you see the results? If you go to the bottom, you can press.
Yeah, I can see the results.
Yeah. If you keep refreshing, you'll see more and more people. I've got a good amount of participants right now. Let me know when you think it's good enough. Oh yeah, I think this is good. I think this is good. I'll push it to the. You want me to push it to the audience?
Yeah, please do. Yeah, thank you.
And then should we move on to the next slide, or did you want to talk anything about this? These polls?
No, it's cool. That's good. It's nice to see that there's 36% of people already using our products, which is fantastic. And then obviously people are already considering using us in the near future, which is great to see.
All right,
let's move on.
Yep.
Sorry, Drew.
No, nothing to be sorry about. You're all good.
Okay. A quick background on Tenzig for those who are not aware. We're solely focused as a thin and zero client vendor. And specialized in VMware amongst other VDI EUC products. We're headquartered in Phoenix, Arizona, with the EMEA office in the UK. We're a founding VMware Ready partner, which means we certify all Tenzig endpoints on the VMware Ready marketplace. Where we differ from competitors is that we're solely focused and our sales and technical teams are skilled in VMware through training and certification and take sales and support to the next level. We're a front runner in many VMware innovations, such as our Linux-based Blast Extreme marketed Zero clients. The company motto is that we make our product fit your environment and not the other way round, and this is more critical than ever in such fast-paced and changing times. Very quickly, just to discuss our VMware Ready endpoints, we have a range of x86-based endpoints for Linux and Windows. All our endpoints include a wide array of hardware options such as varying display connectivity, USB-C, fiber, and PoE. All Tenzig x86 endpoints include enterprise-free centralized management via the Tenzig Manager, which offers cloud enablement for remote management too. We're also a Teradici partner offering VMware Ready-based Terra 2.0 clients. And finally, we offer a flexible demo program for anybody wanting to trial our products in your VMware environment. Okay, then let's start the first demonstration video where I'll show you how to install the components required for Teams optimization to work.
We need to install the Horizon Agent on our virtual machine first and then configure the GPO-specific settings to enable optimization for Teams. I'm going to remote into this VM using a saved RDP connection first, and then locate the agent installer before I start the actual install process. Now we're connected, we need to navigate to the temp folder on C, which is where the VMware Horizon Agent installer is located on my VM. Please note that you need to install the Horizon Agent before the Teams desktop client. If you installed Microsoft Teams before installing the Horizon Agent, close Teams if it's already open. Delete the App Data Microsoft Teams folder before you eventually relaunch the Teams app. For example, on my PC, this would be in C:\users, JSON-H, App Data, Roaming, Microsoft Teams. Now we'll double click the installer inside temp and get the agent loaded onto this VM. If you're asked a question about making changes to your device, just click yes. Click next and accept the license agreement. Click next, 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 and then click install. Once you see the installer completed message, click finish and answer yes to the reboot question. If we just go back to the install options, you'll notice RTAV is still included by default. But as you'll see from the demo where Teams is operating in optimize mode, this supersedes RTAV. However, RTAV still continues to be used for other non-optimized real-time applications. Once we're back into the VDI, click the Start menu and then type in appwiz.cpl and enter. We can go into Programs and Features within Control Panel and see the Horizon Agent has been installed successfully. Now before we install Microsoft Teams on this virtual machine, we need to copy some VMware specific ADMX files that will enable us to take advantage of the new optimization features in Teams. ADMX files are Windows Group Policy settings in XML format that once loaded by the GPO can also be seen in the registry. To do this, I need to go into the temp folder and go into the VMware Horizon Extras bundle folder. By the way, this is available for download from VMware's website at my.vmware.com/web/VMware/downloads. Once inside the folder, click Ctrl and A to select the entire contents of the folder. Then click Ctrl and C to copy, or right-click and select Copy in the context menu. Now navigate to the folder Windows and policy definitions. Once inside this folder, click Ctrl and V or right-click and paste. If you're asked to provide permission to copy to this folder, then click Do this for all current items and click Continue. Now that's completed, we're going to see where these new GPO registry settings have been stored, so we can enable some of them for Teams optimization a bit later. In the Start menu, click the search box, type in GP Edit and press Enter. When the local group policy editor is opened, navigate to Computer Configuration, Administrative Templates, VMware View Agent Configuration, and click on VMware HTML5 features. Double-click on the setting named Enable VMware HTML5 features, and once inside, click Enable and OK. Now we need to open VMware WebRTC redirection features and double-click on Enable Media Optimization for Microsoft Teams. Again, click Enable and OK. Once this has been done, just close the policy editor. It's time to install Microsoft Teams next. So I go back to the temp folder where my installer file is located. Double-click on the Teams installer and click Run. Once it's loaded successfully, key in your username and password, click OK, wait for My Device to register and click Done. I'm going to disconnect the RDP session and connect in using the VMware Horizon client so we can verify that Teams is optimized after our configuration process. I just key in my password and click Login. I need to go into my Horizon desktop named Jason W10 Personal. Now that Teams is installed and opened successfully, we can see if the optimization is working inside the app. Click on the three dots next to your profile icon, select About and Version. You should see the VMware Media Optimized note in the version statement above. This means that we're successfully set up and running Teams in optimized mode as intended, where the audio and video is being redirected to the client endpoint instead of through the VDI.
All right, there we go. Perfect. Jason, you're there.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, just want to make sure.
Yeah, I'm still here, Drew. Still here, thanks. Keeping an eye on me. So we've got the next one of our poll questions for everybody. So are you planning to implement hybrid working? So yes, no, maybe, or perhaps you're already implemented hybrid working in your environment.
Great. I'm seeing we're getting great responses coming in already. So let's wait a little bit while everyone gets to see this poll question. I thought it was a great demo you got over there, Jason. Thanks for sending that over. That was great.
Yeah, thanks, Drew. All this is available on our website as well and on our YouTube channel.
And for everybody, all all these resources, including that YouTube channel, you should see it on the bottom right corner of your screen. I added it in the resources section. If not, all the way on the left-hand side, there should be a button that says resources. Meanwhile, a lot of responses already. Thanks, everybody, for sending all these in. What do you make of these responses, Jason?
It's obviously the ones that, obviously, the yes is there. 25% is quite a high score, which is cool, which is good.
Yeah, it's looking good.
And obviously the maybes as well. Yeah, they're all potential. They're all potential leads, which is great.
And Jason, whenever you want, you're more than welcome to push that result to the audience. But we're still getting responses, so that's good. I think we're slowing down now. This is it. Yeah, this is good.
Let's push it.
Perfect.
Okay, let's start the second video where we'll demo optimize the non-optimized Teams call and explain what's happening during both calls inside the VDI and on the Tenzig Linux endpoint.
In this second part of the webinar demo, we're demonstrating the performance and capabilities of Microsoft Teams running optimized on a VMware Ready supported Tenzig model, the NOS 6048QV. To start with, we're going to take a look at some of the device settings of the 6048QV, particularly the firmware level and audio options. If I click on the cogs in the Horizon Connect window, I'm taken into the control panel. If we go into the system information screen, you'll notice that this version of NOS 6048QV is running version 16.3.27.3. And if you click on the packages menu option and scroll down the list, you can see that we're running the latest VMware View 2106 client. That is required for Linux devices to run Microsoft Teams in optimization mode. It's important to mention that Tenzig have integrated the 2106 client for Linux into NOS 64V firmware 16.3.27.2 or 16.3.28 onwards. We'll close the system information window and click on the Sounds speaker icon and take a look at our connected audio devices. If I click on the audio drop-down, you can see we have the standard analog audio output device for both audio and mic, but I can also change these to be Sennheiser USB headset and my Logitech C505 HD webcam if I wanted to. You must be aware that these are to set the preferred audio input-output devices into a remote session and used for RTAV only, not Teams optimization. I'll explain more in the next section where it will make more sense. If we close this and open up the USB devices window, we can see any devices that are attached to my Tenzig 6048QV. I mentioned a few moments ago that we would only ever be using the sound devices with RTAV and not when using optimization mode with Teams. To do this, we need to make sure any webcam and other audio-video devices are excluded from redirection to the VDI. We can see that our webcam device class is already excluded, but we just need to scroll down and make sure that any individual devices are not included, as they would override the redirection, even if they belong to an already excluded class. We can see my Sennheiser headset and my Logitech mic that is built into the webcam, so we'll click in and exclude them from redirection. Now we've done that, we'll click OK to save, exit back to the control panel, and then close this to return to the Horizon client login box. In this section, we're going to take a look at what our device looks like inside the Windows VDI and also what Teams settings are presenting us with. Now we're going to click Connect and just wait for the resources to appear that are available to my user account. I double click into my Horizon desktop named Jason W10 Personal and wait for my user to log in and the desktop to appear. Once inside, if we click the sound icon in the system tray, You will see that the connected speakers are listed as the standard VMware virtual audio device that are part of the RTAV audio settings configured on our Tenzig 6048QV. Now, we'll load Microsoft Teams so we can see if the optimization is working inside the application. Click on the three dots next to your profile icon. Select About and Version. You should see the VMware Media Optimized note in the version statement above. This means that we're successfully set up and running Teams in optimized mode as intended, where the audio and video is being redirected to the client endpoint instead of through the VDI. Remember that I demonstrated how to set up and configure this VM for Teams optimization in part 1 of this webinar demo by using ADMX group policy settings, the latest Teams release and the latest VMWare Horizon Agent. If we click the three dots again and then click Settings and Devices on the left-hand menu, we can see the webcam and audio devices connected to the NOS client. Notice that they're not generic devices as shown in the Windows System Tray sound icon earlier. Now they are enumerated through to the Teams app as if they are physically connected to the virtual desktop and can be selected by the user as the preferred device. If we close the Devices box and return to the Teams app, we can demonstrate a Teams call and show what's happening inside the VM and also on the Tenzig 6048QV with regards to the resources being consumed. Let's start a Teams call with Tenzig CTO Kevin Greenway and then look at some of the performance statistics when running in optimized mode. As soon as we're connected, notice the quality of the video being displayed and also the version details that show we're running in optimized mode. If we open up Task Manager and go into the Performance tab, notice the low CPU utilization. This is because the audio and video is being redirected to the Tenzig client endpoint and not through the virtual machine as we expected. Let's minimize the VMware Horizon session and open up an SSH window and see what's happening on my physical 6048QV. If I type in top and then enter, then I can see a list of processes running in descending order. Notice that the VMware client process is using a considerable amount of CPU, almost 80% of the overall total CPU threads available. This isn't the actual total of all CPU available, but across 4 cores. If you look at CPU 0 to CPU 3, then they're all averaging around 30% of each core, which is excellent for the Tenzig client as there is still plenty of headroom for the device to perform well, running other applications inside the VDI. If we go back into the Task Manager again and click on the Ethernet performance, you can see how very little traffic is being pushed across the VDI and remote network. This is because, once again, audio and video is being redirected to the peer endpoints and not through the virtual desktop. If we look at processes running for my particular user, then we can see that Microsoft Teams is consuming less than 5% for the VM CPU, which is excellent and definitely shows that we're running in optimized mode. If we scroll down to the VMware Blast Desktop Server process, we can see that it's also taking very little CPU. This process, also known as VM-BLASTW, is responsible for encoding the screen content either in H.264, H.265, JPG or BLAST codec. Before we start another call to demonstrate RTAV in operation, I'll just show you the difference in performance when we're running optimized and with RTAV and what happens inside the VM with regards to VM-BLASTW. In case of RTAV, the process usage will be higher as the Teams video, incoming and outgoing, is rendered and encoded directly on the VM. This is because the user's webcam is forwarded to the VM and also other parties' received video is fed directly into the Teams client, which also runs on the VM. If I take a screenshot from inside the VM's desktop, we can see that there is video content captured because the video and audio is being processed inside the VM. Notice that the VMWare process is using approximately 17 to 18% of the virtual machine's CPU. In the case of optimization, both the locally connected webcam and other parties' incoming video on Teams is encoded directly on the client endpoint. So less processing overhead for the VM and less encoding for the service VMWare, since the video feeds are running on the client, not on the VM. If I take a screenshot from inside the VM's desktop again, we can see that there is no content captured because the video call content is being processed on the Tenzig endpoint and not inside the VDI. Now we're going to close the call and start another Teams call, this time running without optimization and relying on RTAV. Before we start the next call, I'm going to switch optimization off via the Windows registry. I showed you how to do this with the local group policy editor in part 1 of this webinar, so here is an alternative way of doing this. Open the registry editor and navigate to HKey local machine, software, policies, VMware Inc, and then VMware WebRTC Reader. Double click on the Teams enabled value, enter 0 as its data, and click OK. Now navigate to VMware HTML5 server, double click on the enabled value, enter 0 again as data, and click OK. Close the registry editor and quit Teams from the hidden icons section in the taskbar. You need to do this because Teams has to reload the registry entries in order to disable optimization. Now we've done that, let's open Teams again and check that we're not running optimized. Go back and click the 3 dots again, select About and Version. Notice that we no longer have the VMware Media Optimized note in the version tray, so we know we're going to be falling back to RTAV on our next call. Now let's call Kevin again and take a look at some performance and quality statistics now that we're running without optimization. Inside Task Manager again, you'll notice that the CPU is consuming about 5 times more than on the optimized call, and the bandwidth being consumed is almost 10 times more than previously being used. As he moves around, you can see the difference in video quality too, as this is far more degraded when compared to the optimized video on the previous call. If we look at processes running for my particular user, we can see that Microsoft Teams is consuming approximately 18 to 20% of the VM CPU, compared to the previous call of around 5%. Let's minimize the VMware Horizon session again and open up an SSH window and see what's happening on my physical 6048 QV. If I type in top again, then I can see a list of processes running and the CPU usage. Notice that the VMware client process is now using a lot less CPU, almost 25% of the overall total CPU threads available. This isn't the actual total of all CPU available, but across all 4 cores. If you look at CPU 0 to CPU 3, then they're all averaging between 10 and 20% of each core. This isn't much different to the performance we saw on the 6148V earlier, and shows that this device is more than capable of handling any of these call scenarios.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Drew?
Yep, we can hear you.
Brilliant, brilliant. Thank you. So I hope that was very useful to you in regards to installation and actually proving the call content and optimization and non-optimization. So we'd just like to ask our third and final poll question now, and that's if you'd like to receive a Tenzig demo device to test in your own environment.
Hey, and let me tell you, I love seeing that Kevin Greenway cameo appearance. Love that guy. All right, and everyone, thanks for sending in these questions. And I will like to say we are these poll answers, forgive me, but I will like to say we are getting a lot of questions coming in. So please be sure to send in those questions. So Chad, Jesse, Timothy, we're seeing those questions. We will be answering them soon when we get to the question and answer section. Meanwhile, as everyone's answering those, oh, yep, thank you everybody for sending in all these poll answers. This is great.
Yeah, superb. Thank you.
All right, let me know when you think it's time to move on.
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Well, here we are then. It's the question and answer section. Perfect. There we go.
Before we do, I just want to say thanks very much for everyone attending the VMUG session today, and thanks to Drew for hosting it as well. It's been an absolute pleasure for me. And if anyone wishes to see any of this and other how-to video guides, then please head over to tenzig.com and look inside the video gallery there, or on our YouTube channel. But before we wrap up, like Drew said, if anyone's got any questions regarding today's demonstration, and if you have any questions after the event, then please don't hesitate to contact your local Tenzig team, and they'll be more than happy to help you with that.
Yeah, and a reminder that YouTube channel, a lot of other resources are in the resource section in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. All right, we're getting a lot of questions coming in, so thanks everybody. First, I just wanted to start off with Riza saying great demo, thanks. So hey, there we go. Come on, Jason, you're getting the thank yous already.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
This question comes in from Chad. Does the MS Teams optimization also apply to WebEx Teams?
I'm not too sure. I've only dealt with the VMware Horizon environment on that, but I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, I should add, if you're unable to answer the question, Jason, we don't worry. We can always reach out with an answer to your question. So feel free to ask any question. We'll try to have an answer for you. We'll always find out. Jason's on top of it. That's all I know.
Will. Yeah. I'd rather make sure it was factual and accurate so you get the best possible information for your question.
I think Chad asked the same question. He said Microsoft Team optimization apply to WebEx Teams. I think that's the same one. So I'm just going to move on from that. Jesse asked, is Horizon 8 required? We are still running Horizon 7.13.1 or 0.13.1.
Yeah, 7.13 is fine, I believe.
There we go.
Yeah. So 7.13 and 8 and later will be fine.
All right, perfect. From Timothy, do the optimizations work with PC OIP as well? Forgive me, I don't know my tech terms super well, so I hope I'm not mispronouncing everything. But do the optimizations work with PC OIP as well?
I'll have to get back to you on that one. I'm sure it's TCP, definitely TCP, UDP. I'll have to check PC over IP for you and get back to you.
All right, just 1 second as I answered live, sending it back over. All right, a lot of questions coming in all at once. From Patty, is this recorded? Yes, this is recorded. You will be receiving a copy of this recording. You'll be getting a link to it tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Time in your email inbox. It'll redirect you to vmug.com/webcast. All right, new question from Fernando. Do you have optimization videos for WebEx? We may have already answered that question. I'm not sure.
No, we don't.
Yep, Rizzy says great demo. All right, from David, what is the best way to troubleshoot Teams optimization? We have it enabled, and it works when we manually have network settings configured. It fails to find the gateway when DHCP is enabled.
That's something I haven't really dealt a lot with troubleshooting, to be quite honest. In the environments that I've used it seems to be pretty stable. I haven't experienced any issues, so it would be something that we'd probably have to investigate, or I'd probably point you in a direction of an area where you could go to.
All right, great. And then hold on, just gonna make sure that everyone knows it has been answered. All right. Will this be available on the thin client laptops when they come out? This is a question from Winston.
I'll have to go back to the guys and ask that question. Yeah, I'll get back to it. No problem. Some of these are just out the blue, you know. So they're very specific. So I'd want to make sure that I gave you, the right answers to your question, Winston. But thanks, and we'll definitely get back to you on that.
All right, and just a reminder to everybody: if you opted in your information at the beginning in order to enter into the raffle, we can reach out to you directly. If not, you can send over your email and we can reach out to you through that email. We'll make it private. Don't worry. We won't share it with anybody. Christina Buck asks, are there other audio video applications that these or similar optimizations exist for?
Not that I'm aware of. Can you be more specific? Is there any way you can be more specific on here?
Yeah, Christina, make sure if you want to send in a follow-up, I can shoot that in and we'll follow up. Jesse says thank you for answering his question. Great.
You're welcome.
All right, another question coming in. Can you talk a little bit about the device you used, the Tenzig client?
Okay, the 6048QV, is that the one you're referring to? Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay, cool. Just hold on 1 second.
Yeah, another one coming in about the 6048 client. Again, I'm assuming that's what it is, not the 6048.
So it's a we call it, it's a 6000 Q series device that we call it as, but we obviously have different flavors for that device itself. So for this demonstration, because it's a VMware specific device. It's a 6048 QV, and the V stands for VMware. Now, as it suggests, it's a Q series, so it's a quad-core processor. So the QV is a 0 client, but we do have another flavor of it, which would be a 6010Q, which is a Windows 10 IoT device running Windows 10 Enterprise. And what it features, like I said, it features a quad-core processor and dual display port 4K at 60 Hertz. It's quite compact, durable, reliable, and it's a fanless device as well. And it comes with fiber optional, and it also includes a COM port and one parallel port via an expansion if you needed that.
All right, great. I'm not sure if you meant to turn your camera off, but the camera is now off. Just want to let you know. If we're moving on, we've got another question from Hannah. Will these optimizations work on any model of Tenzig?
That's a good question. I'll go back and I can let you know. I can let you know exactly which ones that it will work on. Obviously, the actual model of unit needs to meet certain requirements, obviously, to be able to run in an optimized mode. I think the high-end devices are probably more suited for that purpose, but I can give you a full list of the ones that are kind of fit for purpose.
All right, great. Another question from Timothy, or maybe this is a different Timothy, I can't remember. Do the optimizations work with the 5848 or 5848 QDB?
You know what? I'd probably say yes because of the actual processing power of the unit. But yet again, I'll have to make sure, and I'll get back to you. Every single person that's asked the question here will get a response to their question that satisfies, their query.
Christina, who originally asked the question, are there other audio-video applications that these or similar optimizations exist for? Sent in a follow-up. She's talking about Ring Central specifically.
Right. Okay. I'm not familiar with that technology, so I can't comment on it. But yeah, again, I can find out.
All right. Great. From Udi, we have vCenter for master image, Windows 10, VM, and a VM for provision with AppVol's app stacks. Where do we install the team agent? Is it on master image where will sorry, is it on master image where we will be used where it will be used for Horizon Desktop? We are using Horizon 7.12.
Right. Okay. I don't think it supports 7.12. I think it's version 8 and 7.13. So you'd need to obviously implement the later version of Horizon Desktop.
All right, great.
For a start.
Yeah. All right, from Chris, will these work on the 4448V and 7748V?
Again, I'll send out. I'll find out and I'll send that over to you. Yeah, these are really specific.
Well, that's the VMUG audience. They're looking for specific.
but I'll find exactly, and that's great, and I'll get back to every one of you, no problem.
Yeah, and this is good. And everyone, thank you for all the questions. Wow, this is a lot. I'm loving this. From Tony, looks like you have Terra-enabled devices. Do you have Blast-enabled devices?
I think so, but I'll need to find out for sure. Yeah.
All right. I'll be sending over this list of questions, by the way. So
I'll have my work cut. I'm going to be busy for the next week.
All right. From Alfonso, what makes Tenzig different from competitors?
I think, like I said earlier on, when we talked about our level of support from our sales teams and our support guys, and the fact that we're solely sort of focused on a customer, it's not all about, selling you a product and then leaving you to it as long as you're supported. We go a little bit above and beyond that as a service to our customers. I was a Tenzig customer for 10 years when I worked for Iceland Foods, the major retailer in the UK. And that's one of the reasons that I kind of joined the company, but also that's one of the reasons I had a lot of respect for the company, because they did a lot more for the customer than most do. And that's my personal experience as well.
Perfect. From Tim, is the 6000 QV the only device that can be optimized, or is the 5000 QV series compatible?
I need to find out.
Yeah.
Again, I need to find out. Because they're a quad-core processor, you might be okay with it. But I'll make sure for definite and get that over to you.
We've got a backlog of questions, so I know we've answered some of these, but right. I just wanted to make sure I go and I ask each one of these out loud. Can Workspace ONE manage your devices? If not, how do you manage the devices? This is from Tony.
Well, the endpoints, the Tenzig devices, we manage them. We advise you to manage them either using the free centralized management Tenzig Manager. But also, if you've got a Microsoft Endpoint Manager solution, then there's an option to manage your devices using that also. And there's a video for that. There's a video for both on our website if you want to go over there and take a look.
All right. From Jessica, will there be more videos like this for updates? And where can we find them?
I'm sure there will be in the future. If there's anything significant happening in these environments and in this arena, we'll be planning on providing updates for that. Yeah, sure. You just need to head over to tenzig.com to the video gallery, and also Tenzig's YouTube channel, where you'll find all the content, all the current content that we're producing and working on.
All right. From Tyler. Do you have a solution that will convert old PCs to thin clients that utilizes this OS version?
Oof. We do have a repurpose product. Yeah, I'll send some information over to you regarding that.
All right, perfect. I know a lot of people have been asking a lot of questions right now. We're going to wrap it up now. So thanks, everybody. I know we also have some people that have been sending us some links. I'll check those out later. So thanks, Winston and Sean, for sending it. And then Jason says hello from Northern Illinois. Hey, man, right back at you. I'm from the western suburbs of Chicago. So thanks for joining us. Meanwhile, Jason, was there any last thing that you wanted to push to the audience before we went ahead and ended?
No, I just want to say thanks very much for attending the session. and thanks to you for hosting. It's been great, and I appreciate everybody that's joined, and more than welcome all the questions that have been asked, and any that I couldn't answer, I'll be passing those over to you very shortly. And thanks very much again.
All right, perfect. Well, hey, I just wanted to give a big, big thank you to Jason for spending the time to work on this, sending it on over. The Tenzig team, I love working with these guys, so thanks so much for joining us, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it, Jason. And additionally, our audience, wow, you guys came in full force today. I love you guys. Thanks for sending in all those questions. Thanks for responding to the poll questions. I love having you guys around and joining us for so many. I just want to give you guys a quick heads up for the rest of the week in Webcast. If you want to join us, not tomorrow, we don't have anything tomorrow, we're taking a break, but on Thursday we have a VMware webcast called What's New in vRealize Operations and Log Insights. So check that out, 12 p.m. Central Time. And on Friday, we're closing out the week with an Equinix webcast with a simplified multi-cloud and metro connectivity. That one's got a giveaway. Make sure you check it out, 12 p.m. Central Time. They're great too. But hey, listen, Tenzig's got my heart. Making no comparisons. All right. As a reminder to our audience, you will receive a follow-up email with the on-demand link from today's webcast. To find out more about the VMUG webcast program, visit vmug.com and check out the webcast page. There you'll find all of our our on-demand webcasts, including this one, which will be uploaded tomorrow. Please make sure to complete the short online evaluation that will pop up as you exit the webcast, and let us know how today's session went. From all of us here at VMUG, thank you, and have a great rest of your day.